And joining us right now is Congress MP, Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi. Dr. Singhvi, thank you very much for joining us. The Prime Minister spoke. He spoke at length in Rajya Sabha. He spoke at length in the lower house. But the bigger question is that has he been able to convince or make a convincing argument?
Look, nobody doubts the Prime Minister's eloquence and oratory. Nobody doubts or questions the right of everyone to speak in Parliament, mine, yours, and Honourable Prime Minister's first of all. But there are two or three things I want to emphasize. One is the Honourable Prime Minister, whether his speech writers make him do it or he likes to do it, this poke, this jibe, this provocative phrase in every speech, I think creates much more disharmony, than a healing touch. Now, everyone agrees that with the kind of divisions we have, not on the narrow farmers issue alone, but across the country on 20 sectors, the need is for a healing touch. It doesn't help in that healing touch concept to use words like Andolan Jeevi and Parajeevi. That's point one. Point two is you cannot keep on with the left hand giving crocodile praises of farmers because you want to preserve a constituency or because you are genuinely worried about a backlash. At the same time, keep on making very, very strong anti-national, seditious and those kind of related allegations against unnamed persons who are actually the same class of farmers whom you are trying to compliment with the left hand. This is a subterfuge. Nobody is defending people like Sidhu, who may be bad apples. The court should try and give the strongest punishment if they find him guilty, no problem. Let us say there are 10 more of them, 20 more of them. But actually you are now for the last at least, I would say 30 to 40 days, indulging in the most vicious vilification campaign against a whole class and constantly camouflaging it by saying, oh, farmers are a problem, farmers are fine, but we are going after everyone. The ones you're going after are actually farmers. Because you have expanded your attack and target much beyond the Sidhus and those 20, 30 other people. And the third point I want to make is that it is all now mixed up with a very great degree of arrogance, intolerance, and a incapacity to even appreciate a contrary view. You know, you cannot go to Supreme Court, say that we keep it back for 15 months or 18 months, and then display, look at the kind of intersection this has with a concept generally of intolerance. Today, Sanket, if you pick up my tweet and I picked up somebody else's tweet, and after half an hour we find errors happen sometimes, the tweet is wrong and we delete it. We are certainly not subscribing to the view of the original tweeter. Will you be prepared in a reasonable democracy, forget a liberal democracy, to face 20 FIRs across the country? Not in one place? Will you be prepared to get Twitter to its knees by saying you delete 1,600 or 2,000 odd tweets? Not delete, I'm sorry, blacklist, paralyze and stop the operation of those handles. Now, I can understand the Sidhus in it can be identified. A micro approach means you actually catch the wrongdoer. But this kind of an overall backlash. And then the fourth aspect is you unleash a whole army of Twitterati who send identical tweets across the country to selected 20, 30, 40, 50 so-called celebrities, etc. I mean, is this not some kind, actually you're giving quite frankly much more credence to even the wrongdoers by doing this kind of thing.
Okay, but
it's very shallow.
Yeah, Dr. Singhvi.
And the Prime Minister's speech, therefore, should not indirectly or directly by his words, because he has very great weight when he speaks, should not approbate or condone this kind of thing.
Okay, but Dr. Singhvi, he in his speech also mentions the need for the reforms. That why, I mean, we can endlessly discuss what we need, but we need the reforms and everybody agrees. And then he says that this law is going to help the marginal farmers. I think
sorry, I'm sorry.
No, he made a distinction, Dr. Singhvi. He said that this law is intended for the poor and marginal farmer. And nobody is talking about that. They never asked for this reform. Nobody stood for them.
I, first of all, do not grudge anyone, least of all, a honorable high dignitary like the Prime Minister, his right to have his views. He certainly, and the BJP certainly is entitled to have a view that these are great laws. and I'm entitled to have a view that this is not a great law. But let's look at the merits of what he's saying on this. Now, one of the principal planks of the Honorable Prime Minister is that the land holdings have become smaller and smaller. They were X size in 1950, they were Y size, that is X minus Y in 1970. They are now X minus Y minus Z. We know the figures. Now you tell me, put your hand on your heart, and the Prime Minister knows this better than anyone else. Is the de facto and de jure abolition of MSP, despite all the protestations, but more importantly, the availability of a parallel non-mandi sale process, which makes the mandi otiose and futile, is that, assuming it is good and reform-oriented, and assuming we agree with the Prime Minister, which a lot of us don't, do you think that is going to solve the problem of fragmented holdings? You ask any agricultural economist in this country, the Prime Minister has been speaking about the last 2 or 3 days. Fragmentation, Chaudhry Charan Singh, today also he mentioned Chaudhry Charan Singh.
Yeah.
Now, you tell me, is it that simplistic a solution that you have a parallel mandi and you'll stop having fragmentation of land holdings? Fragmentation is arising from 100 other reasons, 10 of them far more important than the mandi issue.
Sure.
It, frankly, nothing to do with it.
Okay.
Quite frankly, I mean, it's like probably, using a sledgehammer which won't even hit the nail.
Okay.
Or on the side of the nail.
Okay. Dr. Singhvi, thank you very much for joining us with your views. With that, we've come to the end of this edition of Trending Tonight.